When business leadership demands hard decisions. Leading in business is not always about making popular decisions. Very often, it is about making the right decision when every option carries weight, risk, and consequence. Business leadership requires us to constantly balance competing priorities. We think about our clients, the health of the business, our teams, our long-term goals, and our personal values. At times, these priorities align beautifully. At other times, they conflict in ways that test our character. That is where leadership becomes real. It is easy to lead when the path is clear. It is far more difficult to lead when the decision before you could protect your revenue but disappoint a client, support a client but strain your operations, or preserve harmony while quietly compromising your standards. These are the moments that define leaders. Business decisions are rarely black and white. In theory, decision-making sounds simple. In practice, it is often layered, emotional, and complex. A leader may need to ask, do I prioritize immediate income or long-term trust? Do I say yes to an opportunity that grows the business, even if it stretches my values? Do I protect my team from burnout, even if it means losing short-term profit? Do I walk away from a client, contract, or partnership that no longer aligns with the mission? These are not easy questions, but leadership is not built on ease. It is built on responsibility. The truth is this: every serious leader will eventually face situations where they must choose between what is convenient and what is right. Our morals shape. Our leadership policies matter. Strategy matters. Experience matters. But in moments of pressure, morals matter most. Our morals are the internal compass that guides our actions when there is no perfect option. They influence how we respond to conflict, how we treat people under pressure, and what we are willing to protect at all costs. A business can survive a difficult season. A reputation damaged by poor values-based decisions is much harder to rebuild. That is why moral clarity is not weakness in leadership. It is strength. When leaders know what they stand for, they make decisions with greater conviction. They may not please everyone, but they create consistency, trust, and integrity around their leadership. Protecting the business, but at what cost? In the complex arena of leadership, one of the most constant and challenging responsibilities is stewardship. At its core, this means protecting the business. But this is not a simple act of defense. It is a strategic imperative, a continuous balancing act between immediate pressures and long-term viability. There are times when leaders must make decisions to protect the very heart of the business. These decisions are rarely easy, often unpopular, and almost always come with a cost. They require a deep well of moral clarity and the courage to act in the face of uncertainty. That may mean enforcing boundaries with clients. Consider a growing tech firm with a major client. This client accounts for a significant portion of their revenue, but their demands are relentless, leading to constant scope creep. The development team is burning out, and the product's core roadmap is being compromised. The leader must step in. Enforcing boundaries here isn't about being difficult. It's about protecting the team's well-being and the integrity of the product. The short-term risk is losing a lucrative contract, but the long-term gain is a sustainable work culture and a product that stays true to its vision, ultimately serving a wider market more effectively. It may mean ending unprofitable relationships. And unprofitable isn't just a financial term. A relationship can be emotionally or operationally draining, costing the organization precious time, energy, and focus. Imagine a healthcare clinic that has a long-standing contract with a low-cost supplier. While the savings look good on the balance sheet, the supplier's inconsistent delivery schedule and subpar material quality are creating constant operational headaches and compromising patient care standards. The leader makes the tough call to terminate the contract and partner with a more reliable, albeit more expensive, supplier. The immediate cost is financial, but the investment protects the quality of care, boosts staff morale, and fortifies the clinic's reputation for excellence. It may mean declining opportunities that look attractive on paper, but threaten the culture, mission, or ethics of the organization. This is perhaps the most subtle and difficult test of leadership, a prestigious financial institution is offered a chance to invest in a highly profitable venture, but due diligence reveals questionable environmental practices by the target company. The numbers are compelling, promising a significant short-term return. However, the institution has built its brand on ethical and sustainable investment. To proceed would be a betrayal of their stated values. The leader chooses to walk away, protecting the organization's most valuable asset, its integrity. This decision reinforces the company's identity and builds deep, lasting trust with both employees and clients. Protecting the business is not wrong. In fact, it is often necessary. A business cannot serve people well if it is unstable, mismanaged, or constantly operating in crisis. A stable foundation is the prerequisite for any meaningful impact. When a leader acts to protect the business, they are ensuring it remains a reliable, effective, and positive force for its employees, its customers, and the community it serves. It is an act of responsibility that enables every other success. However, the deeper question is this: what are we willing to sacrifice in order to protect it? And just as importantly, what are we protecting? Is it the profit margin or the purpose, the market share or the mission? The answer reveals the true character of our leadership. It defines whether we are building a fortress designed only for survival or a sanctuary designed to serve and to last. If protecting the business requires dishonesty, exploitation, broken trust, or the abandonment of core values, then the cost may be too high. Strong leadership does not just ask, will this help the business survive? It also asks, what kind of business will survive if we choose this path? Making the right decision in the face of conflicting priorities. When priorities conflict, wise leaders do not react impulsively. They step back and evaluate. In the complex, high-stakes arena of modern leadership, decisions are the currency of progress. Every choice, from the seemingly minor to the monumental, charts the course for our organizations, our teams, and our collective future. But in a world saturated with data, conflicting priorities, and relentless pressure for immediate results, how do leaders find the moral clarity to navigate the fog? How do they ensure their decisions are not just profitable, but principled? It begins with a conscious commitment to a framework of integrity. Here are 6 proven strategies that help leaders make sound, ethical, and impactful decisions. First, and most fundamentally, return to your core values. Values should not exist only as decorative words in mission statements or on corporate websites. They are the constitutional principles of your organization, the non-negotiable bedrock upon which every action should be built. When faced with competing priorities or a difficult trade-off, this is your first checkpoint. Ask your team and yourself, does this choice align with the principles we claim to stand for? If our core value is customer trust, does this decision strengthen or erode that trust? If we champion innovation, are we choosing the safe path or the pioneering one? A decision that violates your values, no matter how appealing its short-term benefits, introduces a poison into the culture. It signals that your principles are for sale. Second, think long-term. Our business culture often rewards short-term thinking, hitting quarterly targets, boosting immediate stock prices, securing a quick win. But some decisions that bring short-term relief can cause profound long-term damage. Strong leaders have the discipline to lift their gaze from the urgent pressures of today and consider the future consequences of their actions. They ask not only, what solves this immediate problem, but also, what kind of precedent does this set? How does this position us in 5 years? What foundation are we building for tomorrow's success? Consider a manufacturing firm that invests in sustainable technology. The upfront cost is high, impacting the next 2 quarters. But the long-term payoff includes a stronger brand reputation, resilience against future environmental regulations, and a deeper connection with a new generation of conscious consumers. That is the essence of strategic, long-term leadership. Third, weigh the impact on people. Behind every spreadsheet, metric, and financial projection are real human beings. Business decisions have a ripple effect that touches clients, employees, supply chain partners, and the communities they all live in. Wise leadership moves beyond a narrow focus on shareholder value to embrace a broader, more humane view of stakeholder impact. Before finalizing a decision, map out its potential effects. How will this change affect the daily work and morale of your team? What will the customer experience be? Will this strengthen or strain your relationship with your partners? A choice that looks brilliant on a balance sheet but demoralizes your workforce or alienates your customer base is a strategic failure. True success is measured not just by financial outcomes, but by the well-being and trust you foster along the way. Fourth, actively seek diverse perspectives. The most dangerous trap for any leader is an echo chamber, where the only voices they hear are ones that confirm their own biases. Great decisions are forged in the crucible of constructive dissent. Intentionally cultivate a circle of trusted advisors who have different backgrounds, experiences, and points of view. Crucially, create an environment of psychological safety where people feel empowered to challenge your assumptions without fear of reprisal. Ask questions like, "What am I missing here?" or "Tell me why this plan might fail." A financial services CEO, before launching a new product, made it a rule to hear the most bearish, skeptical case from her junior analysts. Their insights didn't stop the launch, but they did lead to crucial adjustments that protected the firm from unforeseen market shifts, turning a potential risk into a resilient success. Fifth, embrace data, but trust your intuition. We live in an age of big data, and leveraging analytics is essential for informed decision-making. Data can reveal patterns, validate hypotheses, and illuminate the path forward. However, data only tells part of the story. It captures the what, but often misses the why. It can't measure morale, anticipate a sudden shift in cultural mood, or quantify the power of a bold, creative vision. Effective leaders use data as a critical input, not as the sole determinant. They balance quantitative analysis with their own qualitative judgment, honed over years of experience. This is the art of leadership, integrating the cold, hard facts with the wisdom, empathy, and gut feeling that comes from deep human engagement. And finally, the sixth strategy: carve out time for quiet reflection. In the back-to-back chaos of the executive schedule, the most critical strategic tool is often the first to be sacrificed: solitude. You cannot achieve moral clarity in a state of constant distraction. Leaders must be disciplined about scheduling time, whether it's 15 minutes at the start of the day or a dedicated hour at the end of the week, to disconnect, quiet the noise, and simply think. This is where the pieces connect. It's where the implications of a decision can be considered away from the influence of others. It is in these moments of stillness that a leader can truly check in with their own conscience, ensuring the final path chosen is one they can stand by with unwavering integrity. 1. Seek wise counsel. The myth of the lone wolf leader, making monumental decisions in heroic isolation, is a dangerous one. In reality, hard decisions should never be made in a vacuum. Isolation breeds echo chambers, where our own biases and emotional blind spots are amplified, not challenged. The path to moral clarity is often paved with the perspectives of others. Building a personal board of directors is a strategic imperative. This isn't a formal body, but a curated network of trusted individuals. Seek out mentors who have navigated similar terrain. Their wisdom provides historical context that your present emotional state may cloud. Engage with specialized advisors, legal, financial, ethical, who can offer objective, data-driven analysis free from the internal politics of your organization. Connect with experienced peers who understand the contemporary pressures you face and can serve as a real-time sounding board. Consider the case of a healthcare CEO faced with a decision to acquire a smaller, innovative biotech firm. The financial pressure was immense. Shareholders wanted rapid growth. The initial impulse was to push the acquisition through quickly, perhaps cutting corners on due diligence to meet quarterly targets. However, by seeking counsel, the narrative changed. A mentor, who had seen a similar rushed acquisition lead to a culture clash and eventual failure, advised caution. A legal advisor highlighted potential regulatory hurdles that had been overlooked. and a peer from another hospital system shared insights on integrating new medical technologies without disrupting patient care. The council didn't make the decision for the CEO, but it illuminated the full spectrum of consequences, leading to a more measured, phased approach that prioritized long-term stability over a short-term stock bump. The key is not to abdicate responsibility, but to enrich your decision-making process. Ask them, what am I not seeing? What are the second and third-order consequences I'm missing? Their answers are the guardrails against impulsive and often regrettable choices. 1. Separate pressure from principle. In the modern business landscape, urgency is the default state. Market demands, competitor moves, and the relentless 24-hour news cycle create a constant, humming pressure to act. This urgency can be a powerful catalyst for innovation, but it can also become a Trojan horse for compromised decisions. When every issue is framed as a crisis, we risk losing the ability to distinguish between what is truly important and what is merely loud. Great leaders develop the discipline to create space between stimulus and response. They learn to pause, even for a moment, to ask a critical question. Is this decision being driven by my core principles, or is it a reaction to external pressure? Pressure demands speed. Principle demands integrity. Pressure focuses on the immediate outcome, the quarterly report, the market reaction. Principle considers the long-term legacy, the company culture, the public trust. Imagine a tech founder whose company is under fire for a data privacy flaw. The pressure from investors and the media is to issue a quick, superficial fix and a vague apology to make the problem disappear. This is the path of least resistance. But the principled leader pauses. They recognize that the real issue isn't just bad press. It's a fundamental breach of trust with their users. Instead of a quick fix, they initiate a transparent, top-to-bottom audit of their data practices, even if it means a short-term hit to their product roadmap and stock price. They choose the harder, principled path because they understand that trust, once lost, is nearly impossible to regain. Learning to absorb the shock of urgency without compromising your core values is not just a defensive skill. It is the foundation of resilient and enduring leadership. 1. Accept that not every right decision feels comfortable. We are conditioned to seek positive reinforcement, to equate good choices with good feelings. But in leadership, this equation often fails. Doing the right thing does not always feel rewarding in the moment. In fact, the most critical, character-defining decisions are often accompanied by a profound sense of discomfort. This discomfort is the price of integrity. Sometimes it costs money, as when you recall a profitable product due to a safety concern. Sometimes it costs convenience, as when you overhaul a flawed but familiar process. And often it costs approval, forcing you to disappoint stakeholders, colleagues, or even mentors who advocate for an easier path. This is the friction of leadership, the gap between what is popular and what is right. Think of a university president who discovers a beloved, tenured professor has committed academic fraud. The comfortable decision is to handle it quietly, to avoid a scandal that could tarnish the institution's reputation and upset alumni. The right decision, however, is to enforce the academic integrity policy without exception, even though it will inevitably lead to public scrutiny, internal dissent, and personal attacks. The immediate aftermath feels like a failure. It's painful, costly, and isolating. But this temporary discomfort is the necessary sacrifice for long-term peace and institutional credibility. Integrity is not a feeling, it is a choice. It is the choice to endure the storm of the present, to build a foundation of trust and respect that will last for decades. True peace of mind for a leader is not found in the absence of conflict, but in knowing you chose the harder right over the easier wrong. Leadership is revealed in difficult moments. Anyone can lead when conditions are favorable. True leadership is revealed when the stakes are high and the answer is not obvious. It is revealed when a leader chooses honesty over image, when they protect people without neglecting the business, when they make strategic decisions without betraying their values, when they understand that success without integrity is not true success at all. The leaders who earn lasting respect are not those who avoid hard decisions. They are those who face them with courage, wisdom, and moral clarity. A question every leader must ask. At some point, every business leader must reflect honestly. When have I made decisions to protect my business above all else? And which strategies do I use to make the right decision when priorities collide? These questions matter because leadership is not just about growth. It is about stewardship. How we decide matters. What we protect matters. Who we become in the process matters even more. Final thought: business leadership will always involve tension. There will always be competing demands, difficult trade-offs, and moments that stretch our judgment. But when leaders are grounded in values, guided by wisdom, and committed to integrity, they can navigate those moments with strength. Because in the end, leadership is not only about building a successful business. It is about building one you can lead with a clear conscience.